we have K, which one of my least favorite letters. It's just difficult to make it look the way you want it to. So to start, we're going to have the downward stroke with the loop. Then we're going to have kind of a modified counterclockwise circle, just won't be full. And then a little loop down. So start from the midline, go up to the header line, down to the baseline. Start from just below the midline, you're going to connect it to the downward stroke here. Go up to the midline, down to about halfway between the midline and the baseline. And then from there you just make a little downward stroke and then up. Okay, we also have the letter Z. It's actually one of my favorite letters to draw. So this one is kind of like a clockwise circle. You're going to actually start at the baseline here, go up to the midline, down to the baseline, and stop a little short. Start from right around the baseline, go down to that lower line, curve back up, and there you go. A lot of people struggle with these. I just think they're really fun. Don't worry if you struggle, that's perfectly normal. Then we have R and S. Just to save paper, I'm going to do this way. We'll try brown. So for R, start at the baseline, go up to the midline and go up a little bit and make a little loop and go straight across. Then you're going to make from the midline a downward stroke, back up to the midline. So the line with a loop, and then an I. Not too bad. Then S, you're going to start at the baseline, go up to the midline, do a nice hard line from the midline down to the baseline, and then curve around and back. So next, we will cover connecting the letters. So I'll start a new page for that. So with connecting letters, usually, so you see this little upstroke right here. It goes all the way to that midline. It's not lined up very well. It goes all the way to the midline. However, if you're connecting to a letter that is curved like an E, you're only going to go about 2/3 of the way up to the midline. For example, start with the T. Do that nice downward stroke from the header line all the way down to the baseline, curve up to the midline, cross your T, and then we do an H. So that is loop with a downward stroke. Start at the baseline, up to the midline with this compound curve, and we're going to stop short of the midline right here. E, you can do like that, and down. Unlike cursive, brush lettering, you do stop quite a bit. Next we have the word quick. If you can't tell which phrase we're lettering, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Though I didn't do the twice because that seemed pointless when you already have it right here to practice. So quick with Q, you have the counterclockwise circle. You have the downward stroke with a loop up to all the way up to the midline here because we're connecting to a letter that doesn't have that curve. Downward, or compound curve, I, which we're stopping short, color in the little circle, C, and then do that downward stroke with a loop. Start a little below the midline, curve around, and add your little swoop thing there. Now, brown, which ironically we're using the color brown. So with B, start at the midline, do the downward loop, and then you're going to do kind of a modified circle here. So you go all the way almost to the end, and you swoop upwards. And with the R, you can do this in one smooth motion. Since it's connecting to an R, just keep going up, make your little curve, go over, and then do that downward stroke. Connecting to an O, so we don't go all the way up. W, 2 compound curves, a little swoosh. We have an N, so downward stroke, and a compound curve. Then we have Fox. So with the F, you don't start at the midline for that loop. You start a little bit lower. All the way down to that lower line, to the baseline, and then up. So this one we don't go all the way up since we're connecting to a curved letter, an O. And here's the X, so you can just swoop right in there and add a nice thin line. Do that one more time. We have jumps. So this one, with J, you start at the midline, do that loop, and then go all the way up to the baseline, or not the baseline, the midline, sorry. Do a little circle for the dot, compound curve, downward stroke, other compound curve, another downward loop. You have that kind of modified circle all the way up to the midline, and then this stroke. Jumps is kind of just a lot of movement in this one. We're almost done. You can also tear these sheets out so that way you have a little more room where you can play around with how it's organized. Some black for over. O's I think are a lot of fun. So I should have explained that. With the V, you have that little curve, but with it's connecting to a curved letter, especially this E, you can kind of just, instead of bringing it up to the line, you're just going to curve right into that E there. Kind of like with the R, you just kind of go right into that loop. So we'll do it again. Curve right into the E. Curve right into the R. There you go. Lazy. L, I went a little bit too far up there, but that happens. And then with the Z, you can just curve right into it. that stroke. Second stroke up to the Y. And then all we have left is dog. Who doesn't love dogs? Well, I guess some people actually don't really care for dogs, but I'm a big fan of animals. So for dog, start with that D. Not go all the way up because it connects to an O. Not go all the way up because she is also curved. Okay, so there you have it. That is my guide. I will make that slight change to the letter B so that way you guys are not confused when you use it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I will be working on an uppercase version of this alphabet, which won't be nearly as hard to cover, and you don't use uppercase letters nearly as much in brush lettering. Most of what you write is going to be in these lowercase letters, so that's what I really wanted to focus on with this guide. So feel free to let me know what you think, and I'd love to see your progress. Feel free to tag letters and loops on Instagram, and I might just share your work in my stories or on my feed. Thank you.